December 18, 1978 Beijing. Deng Xiaoping sat quietly beneath the heavy chandeliers of the Great Hall of the People, his small frame almost swallowed by the vastness of the room. Outside, winter pressed down on Beijing with a familiar, unforgiving cold. Inside, China stood at the edge of a decision that would change not just its own future, but the balance of the world. Deng was not supposed to be here. Twice purged, publicly humiliated, and politically buried during Mao Zedong's final years, he had survived not through luck, but through patience. He was 74 years old, his back bent by decades of revolution, war, and ideological struggle. Yet his mind was sharper than ever. As the third plenum of the 11th Central Committee began, Deng understood something his predecessors refused to admit: China was poor, isolated, and falling behind. And ideology alone would not save it. For nearly 3 decades after 1949, China had chased purity over prosperity. The Great Leap Forward had collapsed into famine, killing tens of millions. The Cultural Revolution had torn the country apart, destroying schools, expertise, and trust. By the late 1970s, China's economy was smaller than Italy's. Its people were fed, clothed, and employed at the bare minimum but never allowed to dream beyond it. Deng had seen another path. During visits to factories, he listened more than he spoke. He watched peasants in Anhui secretly divide communal land among themselves, risking prison just to grow enough food to survive. Their harvests soared. The system worked not because it was socialist, but because it was human. On that December day, Deng made a choice that would redefine China's identity. He did not reject communism publicly. That would have been suicide. Instead, he reinterpreted it. It doesn't matter whether a cat is black or white, he famously said, as long as it catches mice. With that sentence, China quietly abandoned ideological rigidity and embraced results. The decision was called reform and opening up. Collective farming was dismantled. Peasants were allowed to profit from their labor. Special economic zones were carved into the southern coast. Shenzhen, once a fishing village, became a testing ground where capitalism was allowed to exist inside a communist state. Foreign companies were invited in, not as conquerors, but as teachers. Technology, investment, and manufacturing flooded across borders that had been sealed since the Korean War. This was not a peaceful transition. State-owned workers lost guaranteed jobs. Inequality emerged where none had officially existed. Rural migrants poured into cities, trading certainty for opportunity. The party maintained iron political control, even as it loosened economic chains. The memory of chaos still haunted Deng. Stability, he believed, was the price of survival. Globally, the consequences unfolded slowly, then all at once. Factories multiplied. Exports surged. Within a generation, China transformed from an agrarian society into the world's manufacturing engine. Hundreds of millions were lifted out of poverty, the fastest economic rise in human history. But on that cold December morning, none of that was guaranteed. Deng Xiaoping was not choosing prosperity. He was choosing risk. He was betting that China's people, once unshackled, would outrun the ghosts of famine, revolution, and isolation. He was betting that opening the door would not invite collapse but strength. As the meeting ended and officials filed out into the Beijing night, China did not announce its transformation to the world. It simply began to change quietly, relentlessly, one decision at a time.